Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture, and welcome to another episode of Thursday Throwback Thursdays. I don't know why I keep on reversing them back and forth, but it's Throwback Thursdays. And today we're gonna go over the Chicago-based group called Jade and their first album called Jade to the Max. This came out in 1992. And side note, we're starting. I had a plan to do a bunch of 80s albums and then move into 90s albums and possibly move either 70s or go into the early 2000s. So patience with this, but we're doing the 90s now. So yay, 90s. This group has a weird beginning, not really a great start, but let's get into it. So first of all, before they were Jade spelled Jade, they were Jade spelled Jad. And this was a group between three girls named Joy Marshall, Angela Slates, and Deborah Mitchell. So they were the Jade. They were the first Jade area, and that's where they wanted to go. That's where the producer Vasil, I have horrible writing, Binford had going for them in the beginning. But at the same time, he apparently Vasil released their song "I Wanna Love You" before Jade had their vocals on it, and so it was kind of a weird space where there was like a time crunch, I guess, where they had to put that song on to a soundtrack from Kid and Play's 1992 comedy movie called Class Act, and apparently things weren't really falling through. So instead of just okay, fine, we won't be on the track or on the soundtrack, it was like he put the song before the actual group. So instead of just doing something else, he decides to drop Slates and Mitchell and replace them with Di Reed and Tanya Kelly, which is not a bad idea. Thankfully, it turned into a good idea because it made what Jade is now. But it was the only reason they did that is because Dee and Tanya were already on the vocals of "I Wanna Love You" before Jade was made. So they became Jade. They just became Jade. And thankfully, Joy was able to stay. I'm sure she was traumatized over that. She's like, oh my god, who's gonna go now? But they're able to make the three of them and make an album called Jade to the Max, and able to come out with a good, two great songs called Don't Walk Away, which is one of my favorite songs, and I Wanna Love You. So let's get into this. I feel like, honestly, for me personally, there's no shade to them at all, but I feel like there definitely were a couple hit wonders, I should say, because I know that I Wanna Love You and Don't Walk Away were the biggest ones, but it seems like that's the only thing we get from them, because they only end up doing 2 albums, this one and the next one, and that was pretty much it. And definitely because of that, just only 2 albums in their pocket, it definitely turned more into a one-hit wonder bubble, but a very cherished one-hit wonder bubble. So let's go into this album. This album was a bit of a letdown. I was very, very, very excited to get into this because I was thinking if it has Don't Walk Away, it has I Wanna Love You, so it's gonna have great songs. And it kind of doesn't. They also have some songs where it didn't really mention in the actual title of the album. It's supposed to be, I guess it's only supposed to be 8 songs, but then it turned into 11 songs. Some of the songs I do like, I will point out too, is that I like Out with the Girls. I love that one. It's a great girls' night out kind of song where it's just just the girls, no men kind of thing. I love Looking for Mr. Do Right. I think that's really, really, really nice. I love this, just the production's really nice. I love the idea that it seems like the theme in this album seems like it's either I want to fall in love with you, let's fall in love, or I want to fall in love with somebody else because my man's treating me wrong, kind of thing. And so that's why you get Looking for Mr. Right or Give Me What I'm Missing. That boy, it's just it gives you those pieces like, oh, okay. You love it because you love that they know what they are looking for and they're willing to go to find that. So I really like that one, and then I really love the two covers that they did that were covers from the band or the group called The Motion. They're a 1970s trio. Don't Ask My Neighbors, which is, I knew that song in the past, but it's always one of those things that's just like, you've heard the song as you grew up, but you never really knew who sang it, and so now I know, and I know they covered it. They did a good job. They really did a really good job on it. The next song the other song they covered from the Emotions was Blessed, which I didn't really care for. I didn't really feel like it really had anything going on, and it felt like it was very disorganized too. I don't know, maybe the Emotions version is much better because it feels more organized, but this one didn't really feel very organized. But of course, I love Don't Walk Away. I love I Wanna Love You. Like, super, super catchy songs, like, easily go-tos for me. But all in all, I felt like this album didn't really give me everything, and it sucks to go off of coming out of an album from Janet Jackson, Her Control, and then moving into the 90s, starting off with this group. But there's more coming, and obviously they made it on my list because I had tons, like 20 plus albums that I was choosing from to do each decade from. So the fact that they even made it in this list is a great thing, because they made a huge impression on me just by one song, Don't Walk Away. So yeah, leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought about it. If you liked the album, maybe you can have more insight about the background of it, and maybe your favorite songs are different than mine. I give this album, I do it out of 10, so I give this album a 6 out of 10. It's just how it is. Leave a comment below, tell me what you thought. Don't forget to like if you like the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button too so you get more videos. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.